Sorry?
What is the purpose of the video?
What the purpose of the video is I do this channel called ShrigleyTube. My business is called Shrigley Engineering, and basically I do all about the engines every week. And this week I've got an Ian Carter engine. I took it all apart, and I'm going to run it on the dyno. And I'm going to do like on New Year's Eve. I'll put it on the internet. I'll send it to Steve first, so he can view it. And then as long as you're happy with everything you see on there, then what I'll do is I'll put it on the internet as
with my face.
Is your face? Is that right?
Oh my god!
Yep. But
lovely eating machine.
Oh no, they'll love it. They'll love it because you know it's good.
Okay. I don't care. I'm game.
You're game.
Don't shoot me though.
Oh no. Right.
That's what you do with game. You shoot it.
Oh look, Mr. Rabbit. This is Patricia Carter, and she's very, very kindly agreed to do a little interview with us today and tell us a little bit of history about her late husband Ian Carter, and obviously the race engines and her involvement, and just a bit of an insight. So thank you very much, Pat, for agreeing to be interviewed on camera and on your Christmas break. I was gonna
promise me the world.
Yeah, obviously you know.
I'm getting a good part of the what's the.
We're gonna
fees.
The fees.
No,
we'll see how good it is. I can always edit it. I'll send it to Steve. Don't worry, and Steve can go through it. Steve's a subscriber, by the way. He's sat over here. Now what I want to start by saying is that, excuse my makeshift microphone. I hope the magnet on the end doesn't affect it. This is so I can hear what you're saying, or so that the viewers can hear.
Okay.
So I was going to start by saying, I hope I don't not be too personal, but how did you meet Ian?
At the fun fair.
At the fun fair.
And on the Dodgems.
On the Dodgems. Wow, brilliant.
I was with my friend. He was with his friend. And they kept trying to bang us at the back, you know. And we pretended we were cross, but we weren't cross, really.
No.
And that's just how you started. Then we started going around to some fun fair. And in the end, he said he'd take me home. I said, no, I don't think so. I'm going to walk home with my girlfriend. And he said, well, come and see my bike. I said, oh, look at the bike. And there was a brand new bike, only a fortnight old, a stand-up. A German stand-up bike.
Oh right, was a motorbike?
Or? Motorbike, yeah, all chrome shiny it was.
Oh, was it?
And black and red. I thought, I'll take you home on the bike. I thought, don't you tell my mum? She'd be horrified.
Oh right.
I went on somebody's motorbike when I was quite young, and Mum said, you must never do it again. It's terribly dangerous. Yeah. Anyway, all was well. And he said that after that, he said, well, come out again, we'll take you so. And within about a fortnight, he bought me a crash hat to please me dad.
So,
and I went out and bought my first pair of trousers. I never had worn trousers before because
girls. Oh, for the bike.
The girls didn't.
No.
Not many.
Mini skirts back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, these big floaty skirts with all the petticoats and things. Not very good on a bike.
So how old was that? How old were you roughly there?
Oh, hang on. I was born in 1937, and it was I think I'd be about 19.
19.
Yeah,
well,
about 19. Yeah.
Brilliant. Right. Well, thanks for that. I was going to say, so was he an apprentice at ERA then?
No. Oh, no. Long after that.
Long after, right.
He did his apprenticeship at the Rothschild Silk Mills.
Right.
In the nearby town of Tring. The bottom had fallen out of the silk trade, silk spinning, and so Rothschild had set up a engineering company within that building, and it was still run. Some of the old silk machinery was there as well, which he was interested in, and everything was run from a big turning bar across the top.
Oh, right,
and leather things. You had to be ever so careful with machinery.
Dangerous.
And no safety things back then.
Wow.
And he stayed there to finish his apprenticeship.
Right.
And by then the war had started.
Right.
1945. But he carried on doing his apprenticeship. He stayed there a little while, and in the end he had to do his national service. So he went in the RAF, because that was in... They went straight doing an
Oh,
there,
so
and he
doing,
worked on jet engines for a while.
engines.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
Some jet engines that come back from the nuclear tests on the Bikini Islands that the British were involved in. Bit before 1950, I think.
Right.
But they hadn't realised much about radiation, and there was nothing was prepared. The soldiers or airmen were sent there to just observe, really, told to stand with their back to it.
They're back to it.
And you couldn't turn around till you were told to, and then they can turn around and see it. And absolutely terrible when you think about it.
Yeah.
And then the stuff came back to Livingston Annesley, I'm sure that's right, the station, and contaminated really with radiation and that, but nobody knew what was going on, you know.
No. Wow.
But he was taking in it. They've broken down an engine, a jet engine, and all the blades inside had to be taken down and tested and adjusted and things like that.
Right.
They did that. He stayed there for a couple of years.
What was Ian exposed to radiation?
Well, maybe from the stuff coming back,
Right.
but he never left the country.
Right.
He was in here all the time.
Wow.
But some of the fellows were, and some people did get damaged through it. Definitely, they claimed off the government in the end after many deaths. Yeah.
Oh, right. So
if you look it up, it was recognised. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fascinating. Yeah. So, when did he start off as being like Ian Carter race engines? What sort of stage in life was that?
Around about the time Louise was born. That's right, isn't it? Because when you were born, he was out of work, wasn't he? Yes, he just finished with the ERA. Started off on his own. After the RAF, he played around with a couple of companies very, very briefly. Then he got into ERA. I don't know what ERA is. English Racing Automobiles. Yeah. They used to race in British Racing green colours.
Yeah,
and they used to do very well.
Yeah, they were special.
That's some big flash.
Very special.
Yeah. Not like modern days, a very elegant looking car, you know.
Yeah, because one of my...
That's who he worked on the engines with that.
He works on the engines.
And he worked in the test beds.
And the test beds? Wow, because I've got a cylinder head, which is off like a development type of head for a Hillman Imp. And I put a video about it on the YouTube, and a chap rang me up and he said, basically, have you heard of a chap called Ben Bolt?
I have.
Yeah, so I went to interview Ben because Ben said he's been on the YouTube. You have to check him out. But he did an interview and he told me that, it wasn't actually him, it was another chap from Ireland that told me. But he said that these heads were cast under Ian's eye. So they were Ian was at ERA, and ERA was a research and development company by this stage, and Ian developed the heads for the Roots competition department, and then these 10 cylinder heads, which are quite special heads, there's about 4 or 5 of them in existence now.
By the time Ian went there, they'd given up the actual race in the ERA. They kept the name and the letters, they called it something else when they altered the work of the letters. But that's what it had been. But the money was no longer there. After the war, the money was no longer there.
Right,
it was all government work.
Yeah.
But he still worked on the test beds.
Yeah.
And do you remember Dad having milk at work? He used to have to drink 2 pints of milk a day, didn't he?
But wasn't that because
on the test beds? Because of all the fumes and things.
Oh, I thought that was after the army. After the RAF.
Yeah, but ERA is after the army, after the Air Force.
No,
was it to do with the radiation, was it?
Well, I don't know.
To do with the radiation.
Wow.
Well, still at ERA, he had 2 pints of milk given to him every day, and he was told he got to drink it.
Yeah.
And he didn't mind drinking the milk at ERA.
Wow.
But what that came down through, I don't know.
We'll never know, will we? Maybe
I don't know.
medical science back in the day. That's how
I don't know. I never asked the right questions, perhaps. Really.
Well, you don't question things, do you? You just get on with it. That's what people did.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say. So I was going to ask you how much you were involved with the business. You know, Did you didn't do any bookkeeping or anything?
Oh,
like
I
that,
had to do the bookkeeping.
You had to do bookkeeping, did you?
Well, yeah. He used to write things down on bits of paper.
Old school engineer, yeah. Brilliant.
Or he'd write something down, 9 a.m. so-and-so rang, and that would be something I didn't know all about. And after that, did you do any more work? Oh, yes. Or no. He sometimes kept a logbook, but
Yeah.
He wasn't money chasing at all.
I look at the engines.
Oh, no, he was not money chasing.
No, he did it for the love, didn't he?
Yeah.
For the name, really. Well,
I used to say to him, Ian, tomorrow we're going to get things sorted out. Write out some bills and I'll type them up. We'll send them in. Oh, I haven't got time. So-and-so stuff is bad and he needs it for the next race. So I need to go.
Really?
And he would work round till 1 or 2 in the morning very often.
Would he really?
Oh, yeah, he would.
What, like 6 days a
If
week?
there was a race if there was a race coming in, he wanted to chase that thing. He just worked till it was all done.
Yeah. Wow.
And we had a special system, my way of certain rings and a gap and some more rings, and he know it was me ringing. Other than that, he wouldn't pick the phone up.
Yeah,
He'd
too busy.
Just keep working.
Yeah, no fair. I have a system where I leave the phone on the side. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I keep talking all day and get no work done.
Yeah,
And I just do
same,
return phone calls.
Just
I
the
always
same.
get back to people who do
Yeah.
a voicemail. Oh, I'm forgetting the microphone here. Right, I was just going to tell you a bit about. I had a chap come to see me recently. You probably won't have heard of his name, called Gerald Stanley. He lived in close to Dunstable, and his dad had a Ginetta G15 that Ian did the engine for, and he was
You were Stanley.
a Stanley.
Christian name, tell me again.
Well, this was his son Gerald. I can't remember the father's name. He did tell me his dad's
We
name.
did know that Stanley.
Yeah.
He would be contemporary with Ian. He'd be close to 90 now, 80, 90.
Oh yeah. This is his son.
This man, okay.
This is his son that came to see me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he lives in America now, but he'd been home and got the cars and put them in a container to take them home. But he was telling me, I said to him, like, tell me about Ian Carter, because he obviously came to your house or your workshop.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, my dad sent me round with a broken alternator bracket and said, take that to Ian's and ask him to weld it. So he said he brought it round to Ian's and he said he asked Ian to weld the alternator bracket. He looked at it and he said, well, there's no point just repairing it because if it's failed once, it'll fail again. Okay. He said, so he looked at it for quite a long time and like to consider how to go about it. And he said, like, come back this afternoon and I'll have it ready for you. And he went back this afternoon. He's like re-engineered the whole thing and made a complete new support bracket for it, so the same failure wouldn't.
How it works.
Is that pretty much how it was? Yeah.
I remember.
Oh wow.
I remember, yeah.
And did Ian have any employees? I know in later days did he have Dennis Holt do some assembly work for him?
Oh, we had Dennis Holt for a while, yes.
Yeah.
I had some engineering as well. That wasn't his trade, but he learned enough of some things to suit Ian. Yeah, we had Lenny. We had Lenny, didn't we, first of all? Because Lenny encouraged him to start going on his own. And so did Brian Lovell said, go on your own, see. Brian Lovell was a very clever man. Got all fancy names, letters after his name in engineering. He worked at ERA.
Oh, right.
And he's one of the directors at the top.
Right.
They used to talk with Ian quite well. And he had actually worked on the idea, the very first person to say, we're going to make an engine out of aluminium.
Wow.
It wasn't done then at that time.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was called the Connaught engine. I'm pretty sure it was the Connaught engine, I think.
Right.
Ian had it in the workshop for a while, in the garage. He went away. Anyway, he was a qualified, clever engineer, you know.
Right.
Knew all the numbers and everything. And he had worked on that. And so he used to guide Ian a bit.
Right.
And he said there's a fella down south. He works for helicopters. Can't remember the company and I can't remember the man's name at the moment. And Ian started doing the work for him. And in the garage, he already had a lathe and all sorts of machinery in the garage. And from that, we were getting quite a few inquiries. Can you do this? Can you do that? All the same thing. And Ian said, I might as well go solo. And that was about the time Louise was born.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, funny you should say about the aviation side, because Steve sent me some pictures like 10 years ago when we came to visit you at the house, of an engine. I think it was a Rover V8 engine, and he'd modified it for twin spark plugs, for the aviation job, so that if one plug went down, it would still run on the other one also. Yeah, that was fascinating. So I know he must have had some involvement in the aeroplane engines as well.
He did. He had a license for Grob engines. Grob is a small manufacturer of aero engines in Germany.
Right.
And he had, because you have to have it qualified by the Aviation Authority, there's another A, Alpha, I don't know, a government thing.
Right.
And Ian was cleared for that.
Right.
Because you can't have an aviation engine stop in mid-air, can you?
No.
No, they don't like that.
They don't roll to a halt very
They
easily.
don't like that.
Especially over water.
So he worked on some Grob engines for a long while.
Yeah. Oh, wicked. I was going to say, part of my job is, doing the race engines. So Sundays can be quite. I suppose it's different back then because you didn't have mobile phones, did you?
Just as well.
Yeah. Whereas I'm all over the results and the live timing, seeing who's done what, why the stops mid race.
Where are you? Only in bloody Nottingham.
So, yeah, did he used to look forward to race results on a Monday or Sunday, and people telling him how he got on? And
Oh
things like
yes, he didn't follow much on television. He didn't always watch motor shows or anything like that, like you think he might have done, did he?
Yeah.
He used to like sometimes to watch a Formula One or something like that, but he was more interested in making the engine go than the winning things. But
Yeah.
we always delighted if one of his people won.
Yeah, that's good for business, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we had all sorts of different engines, as you know.
Yeah.
We did ones for ice racing in
in Finland.
in Finland and Scandinavia. Boat engines,
Hydroplane, yeah.
boats, motocross, time trials, anything you could think to do with an engine, really.
Yeah. Did he have
If you had an engine in it was interesting, whatever it was.
Is it
And the only exception to that was the gliders.
the glider? Well, obviously, no engine.
No
yeah.
engine.
We'll come to
Pardon?
that.
He did the tug launches.
Oh, we did the tugs for them, yeah.
Yeah, the elastic.
No,
Sorry.
I mean, he helped.
Oh, right.
He tinkered with the tug,
The winch engines.
the winch engines.
In the winches.
There's two ways to launch a glider. You kick it onto the back of a proper aeroplane,
Right.
tow it up there, and the other way is on a big bungee thing. A bit like I was telling you with the horses in the early days.
Yeah.
But this is a winch that winds up quickly.
Hang on.
So
Sorry.
it would work. He used to sort of always mending that winch or improving it or something.
So is this a glider that you get inside, or is it radio controlled?
Oh no,
Humans in.
one or two people
you
in
get
it.
inside?
One or two. Yeah.
With no engine.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, it's just relying on like the pockets of air to get right. Oh wow. Yeah.
Have you never been in one, lad?
No, I'm pretty sort
You
of
were
sheltered.
scaring
Mate.
a glider.
I know about Hillman imp engines. Everything else in life, I'm completely wooden. I haven't got a clue. I'm like sheltered. I just surround
Well,
myself.
so Ian had to have something with an engine or a glider. That's about it.
Wow.
I mean, he'd get reasonably interested in a piece of ordinary domestic stuff. Reasonably, not deeply interested.
He fixed washing machines, things like that, would he?
He would fix it. He could fix it. He could fix anything like that. But he wasn't necessarily interested. But he'd have a go.
Yeah.
But anything that moved something, he was keen on. Yeah,
Wow.
always
And
had been.
did he have to do a lot of track support? Did he go to a lot of race circuits to support the cars, or?
Well, we did usually a client's invitation, really,
Right.
wasn't it? Yeah. David Hall in Ireland, we went there a couple of times. Very rich people. They owned a racing horse stud
Right.
on the Curragh, which is the big area in Ireland, Southern
Right.
Ireland, where they breed the horses. And they used to have horses outside the back door, really, horses and donkeys, which you run the two together because the donkeys keep the horses calm, see?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Right. Wonderful.
Yes. So we went over there quite a few times. Luxury living. Their dad had a place like 100 acres, 100 acres, and they used to have horses outside the back door, really, horses and donkeys, which you run the two together because the donkeys keep the horses calm, see? Yeah. So we went over there quite a few times. Luxury living. They dad had a place like 100 Woburn Abbey, really, huge place. Really belonged to the Shah now. Who can we say of Shah? Persia. We don't have Persia anymore.
Right.
But bits of Iran and Iraq was Persia, aren't they, nowadays? Yeah.
You educating me, you know.
Yeah. That's
Well,
how
we did go as a family sometimes to certain racetracks.
Oh, we
We'd be
did
in
go to
pits.
invitation to come and see me.
Yeah.
We're doing this and
And
that sort
sometimes
of.
they'd have these.
But we didn't just wildly say, "Let's go racing today."
Like a Winnebago type thing.
Yeah.
Bigger than that and posher
Yeah.
than that.
Right.
I remember as a kid being
Yeah.
fascinated.
I only ask, I compare it to me, you see. Before the kids came, I used to go to a lot of race meetings to try and just be around in case someone
Yeah.
needed twiddling with or whatever. But obviously nowadays with the kids,
But
I'm
he
tied up.
used to ride little motorbikes, 50cc ones.
All right.
Couldn't afford anything a bit bigger. He had ambitions and tinker around my Mersey's engine before we went into business. Before Louise was born, we used to go to Silverstone and all the big tracks. I've been to them all in England, I think. Yes.
Right. Wow. And do you remember a chap called Andy Chesman and George Bevan?
George Bevan I know the name of, but can't say I remember them.
Yeah. Well, it was sort of like
I can't say I remember them.
Andy Chesman had the hydroplane.
Yeah, okay.
So I often take Ian's engines apart, and they've got AC stamps on them. So there's obviously an overlap where they both work together doing the engines. And then George Bevan was the chap that.
I know the name George Bevan.
Yeah, he built the touring car that won and had all the fame, you know, for Bill McGovern to drive, like 1974, a long time ago, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add? I think you've covered everything that I've asked without even asking you
Not everything by any means.
Yeah, no.
We had some lovely holidays off it, really. He had a Bill Bodice, I think, Bill something. He was building a boat himself out of fiberglass, a proper yacht, you know, only sails. And when that was all done, Ian had done lots on that. A little engine at the back for really emergencies if you got stuck. And we went into the Solent on the thing and had 3 or 4 days there with them. Couldn't sleep on board. You had to keep.
Around the Isle of Wight, wasn't it?
We went round the Isle of Wight, yes. And the seas were notoriously bad round there.
Yeah,
I hadn't realised. And then somebody said, "Have you ever read about the Armada?" You know, and the Armada failed because of the Isle of Wight. Really did.
Did it?
Yes, really.
Rocks and stuff.
Well, the sea currents around the big island and in and out of it.
Wow.
So we used to have some nice things. And we had some very interesting visitors as well. All sorts.
Was the engineering workshop at the house, or was it separate?
It had 3 places that he rented as workshops at one time, and they got closed for different reasons. Each time I think the lease ran out and they wanted it back for themselves, and then he took on the workshop in Houghton Regis. We actually signed for as long as you wanted for that one off the council.
Oh, wow.
And in between
First one in Marsden. Marsworth, yeah. Remember that? That's where he had the fire.
Oh no, he had a fire.
Yeah, Uncle Harold, Mum's cousin's husband, used to smoke a pipe.
No.
And he set the workshop on fire. My dad was really badly burnt.
He was.
And had to spend quite a big time in hospital.
Lots
Very
of grafts
badly
on
burnt,
his
all
legs,
and
yeah.
everything, because Harold had set fire to the.
I mean, Harold wasn't really doing any work, but he'd have his smoke, and then he was addicted to the pipe, even if he said it was out. Being of course, you know, like that. And apparently, there's just enough there to ignite that.
Yeah, a lot of fumes
gases.
and oil and petrol and stuff in the workshop.
It just went whoom.
Yeah, fire's a big.
Yeah, and it was
power
Ian
line,
that got it.
Wow, crikey, and it burned
Harold
him.
didn't touch Harold, did it?
Didn't touch Harold.
No.
But Ian was probably trying to put the place out, wasn't he, before the.
I don't know. They did put it out.
Wow.
What after that in Houghton Regis? Somebody brought something in they shouldn't have done, and they had a fire that was dealt with very quickly, because we had by the front door there was the big commercial
Extinguishers.
Yeah.
Yeah, my landlord's fitted new ones in my place, so
Yeah.
hopefully we won't go near that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you've got to be so careful.
yeah.
But,
Brill. Well, Pat, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And the
I'm
Hillman.
very good at talking.
You are good at talking, yeah. I was worried that I was going to be like trying to drag it out of you, but yeah, no, it's flowed lovely. You're natural. The people in the Hillman Club will really like this.
You see that thing there?
Yeah, well, we could always talk again next year,
Yeah,
Christmas
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
If you've ever got anything you want to tell me, then yeah, brilliant. Right, well, thanks, Pat, and I'll send you
Over
a
and
copy.
out.
It's over and out. You can watch yourself on
Over
Sunday
and out,
night.
yeah.
Cheers.